Hola, Wets. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to Pitch In. My name is Ngox.
My name is Tyson.
And we do this every week. We try our best. We've been very, very consistent so far. Shout out.
Shout out, brother.
My nigga. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know what to do. If you haven't right now, you have to feel guilty. Please, 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 please subscribe. Nothing else, just subscribe.
Guys, thank you so much also for all the comments, all the great conversations we've been having on our other social media pages. I mean, we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, which is X, and most importantly, obviously, YouTube. So there's absolutely no excuse for you not to be able to interact with us. Please, if you have any questions or comments, drop them in there.
And to kickstart the show, we're starting on a very sad note. We got news that Diogo Jota, Liverpool player, is no more, passed on in a horrific car crash. So condolences to all Liverpool fans. Condolences, my brother. I know this is a hard one. You know, I was actually thinking on my way here that we haven't been rocked with a football/soccer death in a very long time.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been a very long time, especially in the Premier League, you know.
Yeah.
We take it for granted, but I mean, these guys really are blessed, you know. As of today, well, when you do see this episode, I'm sure a lot more information has come out. But what we have right now is that in Zamora, Spain, on the evening of the 3rd of July, 2025, Diogo Jota and his brother were driving on the highway in Spain, and they were trying to overtake another car, and then he experienced a tire burst and then got into a car accident, and then the car then caught fire afterwards, causing the death of the two brothers, Andre Silva and Diogo Jose Teixeira da Silva.
Very, very tragic. And I think to kickstart us off for the show, let's actually pay a bit more tribute to Jota.
Yeah.
I'll say this, it's documented, I think you also know, that Jota is actually one of my favorite players from Liverpool. I've constantly said this, not only because of, you know, his character as a player, but just his playing style. I've always been a fan of just how versatile of a striker he is. You know, he's one guy that I think the team could rely on. Super sub of note.
Yeah.
You know, true definition of the word super sub. And I think football, the Premier League, you know, has lost a really, really great player.
Yeah, no, I definitely have to agree. Diogo Jota, man, what a versatile player. There was a season, I think it must have been the 22-23 season or 21-22 season, when Diogo Jota was a super sub coming on for Bobby Firmino at times. He comes on and scores a goal.
Literally, it was just like every that, goal.
Literally
every game.
Even gained the nickname Diogo Jota. In 190 appearances in the Premier League, he scored 63 goals and assisted 20 goals.
Jeez.
And there was a bit of a really interesting stat a couple of seasons ago, where Diogo Jota had the same number of goals with his left foot, right foot, and his head.
That's crazy.
Just speaking about versatility and adaptability.
That is crazy.
I consider him one of the pure strikers. You know, like really, really, really.
He has a knack for goal.
Yeah, like a really goal-hungry type of striker, the likes of which I compare only to, say, like Higuain, Chicharito, Radamel Falcao, Diogo Forlan,
Cavani,
Edison Cavani, you know what I mean? Wayne Rooney at his best. So those type of guys who are like, all they're obsessed about, like all they want out of football is just to score pure goals, right? And another interesting fact about Diogo Jota is just his ball knowledge, you know. People don't know, but Diogo Jota actually has some of the best ball knowledge in football.
Okay.
Right? In fact, he obtained his UEFA B coaching license in 2023 alongside his teammates Adrian, which was the goalkeeper, as well as Joel Matip.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, very, very interesting. This guy has his heart set on being a coach, you know. So he also has other accolades that people don't know about, but you would have seen from his celebration. You know, he sits down, does the PlayStation celebration.
Yeah.
He actually was involved in the FIFA gaming world, reaching the top global ranking in FIFA 2021.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he won actually the Premier League Invitational in 2020.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so Diogo Jota, like, just pure football man. Like, he's just that footballing guy in all aspects of the game. Like, whether it be, it's very rare to find someone who can play like the game digitally as
And
well as
actually
on
the
the
actual
field
game, yeah.
and winning Premier League trophies. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, rest in peace to Diogo. Yeah, man, he's definitely going to be missed in the Premier League and at Liverpool.
Gone too soon, man. Condolences to the Liverpool football fraternity, the EPL in its entirety. We really, really lost a great one, man. A giant. Yeah. So today's show, we're going to be looking at the career of a footballer and what happens after that. I think it's one topic that it remains relevant because especially now that there's a lot of factors one has to factor in today's game. The money, the pressures, players peaking too early in some respects. What are the options for a player in this day and age? But in looking at that, I want us to also look into, Tyson and I actually did a bit of research just to look at some players who have actually, built and sustained careers beyond the pitch.
Yeah.
Once they've retired, which is something I think a lot of currently playing footballers who are watching this could actually learn and be inspired by.
Yeah.
And that was the intent behind this conversation. But over and above that, I wanted us to kickstart it off, Tyson, on just discussing what goes into, what is the difference between a Cristiano Ronaldo, who is currently still active, 40 plus, right? And a Eden Hazard, for example, who, when even looking at his physique, he looks like he's older than Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
How does that happen where you get players that retire? Because I'm actually even quite concerned, to be brutally honest with you. I'm concerned at the fact that it seems that the retirement age seems to be getting lower and lower.
Oh,
Based on my perception. Yeah. It seems like
so
the retirement age is becoming lower and lower.
No.
And I'm concerned because the technology has advanced. I think back to there's a dying breed right now, right, of players. I'll mention your Pepe, your Sergio Ramos.
Yeah.
Who was the defender from Chelsea, Brazilian?
Thiago.
Your Thiagos, that dying breed. Look at their age group, right?
Yeah.
It's very close to your Ronaldo, 39, 40 plus, right? But then there's a tier below them that is already retired.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
So, and that's where I think my concern comes in.
Right. So the thing about that is, I think you feel like players are retiring younger because you are now older than the players at retirement age.
That
Right.
could be true, actually.
So
that could be true.
So what tends to happen is the bulk of players tend to retire. You see some of the most notable players, like the ones that really become famous, and then they tend to like play much longer. I mean, i.e., Messi, Dirk Kuyt, Thiago, Varane, Casemiro. I mean, the list goes on. But just to mention a few players who actually retired too early. Right. So the first one I have on the list is Eric Cantona. Do you know that Eric Cantona retired at the age of 30?
That is insane.
It's
I actually
crazy.
didn't know that.
You wouldn't have. You never would have thought that.
I actually
because
didn't know that.
He may have even come through from France looking a little bit like an older James.
Yeah. I won't lie. His
He carried
facial
himself that
features, the
way.
way he carries
Yeah.
himself, like he
Even-
does
even
have
his dress code, like,
he
you know,
does
he
have
has
an
this
older
fashion thing.
demeanor.
Yeah. So Eric Cantona retired at 30, but he definitely went on to be successful because he had a great acting career in France that we never knew about. We never knew about this, but apparently Eric Cantona is huge.
Yeah,
He's a huge movie star.
that's crazy
in
actually.
France. But anyways, we'll get into players who have been successful outside of football later.
Yeah.
For now, I want to talk about Jack Wilshere as well. Also retired at the age of 30.
Yes. I remember the Jack Wilshere story as a very sad one because he also had great prospects from a young age. and maybe the pressure might have played a role, but obviously we do know the Jack Wilshere story has a lot to do with his injuries. He seemed like a really great prospect, and that's another aspect I wanted to touch base on, is that the pressure that media and us fans put on young players, does it play a role in them necessarily not reaching their full potential to a certain degree? Because I'll make an example. I think of players like, most notably and most recent, Rashford.
Yeah.
I remember Rashford when he burst into the scene. He was exciting, very, very, big prospects around him to say, this kid is going to be special, right? Hasn't really lived up to the potential, apart from that one season where he scored 30 plus goals, right? And besides, Rashford, there's a lot that we can think about, actually.
Yeah, so I think that it's actually very common in football, that whole thing of a player coming in and then losing the potential as they go. Ansu Fati, Cabo.
But then, and you're now mentioning like recent players, because I'll counter that with Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo burst into the scene and he was a wonder kid. Everyone was like, this kid is going to be special, right?
Yeah.
And he lived up to that.
Yeah.
Messi, I remember when Messi came onto the scene. I still remember Messi's first goal, assisted by Ronaldinho. It's a classic goal, right?
Yeah.
And I remember after watching that goal, commentators were raving about, this kid, he's just been graduated from the academy, he's going to be the next great thing, and he became the next great thing.
But my point is that...
So what is the difference then? Is it a generational and era thing?
I can tell you that I think it's just your attention to it. I think just as many players... I think almost every player that plays Champions League was seen as a youth prospect, or someone important had said, this player is going to be big, and thus gaining them that opportunity to then go and prove it.
I hear you, but there's superstars and then there's megastars, right?
Yeah, I mean the megastars were all amazing players at youth level. I mean, if you consider Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi,
right
Pele,
now,
Maradona,
they are saying Yamal is going in that direction.
Yeah, well, he says so too.
Right. So my point is that a Yamal, right?
Yeah.
We expect him to reach the feats of your Cristianos, your Messis, in terms of greatness. Mbappe is another one, right? Whom we regard as a megastar from inception, from jump. We were like, okay, this kid is going to be a cut above the rest. Rashford, I would argue that English media saw him as that, right? From inception, to say this kid is going to be another special kind of a talent, a generational type of talent.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that suggests that over the past 5 to 6 seasons where he's lived up to that. If anything, if we're being fair, if we were to be judging Rashford on a fair scale, he's not really too bad of a player, right? Dude, and he hasn't done really terrible.
He has not done terribly.
Right.
Rashford has won awards.
And I think
he won trophies.
Yeah, and I think the issue with him is that we judge him based on that pedestal that we put him on from a very young age.
Yeah.
And can that play a role in a Rashford retiring early, for example? And the reason I lead to that is I think of a case like Eden Hazard, for example.
Yeah.
Right? Where you peak too early and sort of I don't know, you don't live up to where we place you as the fans and the media and the football fraternity.
Well, Gox, I think a lot of what we're talking about is not fair on the player and their willingness to play football.
Okay.
So for instance, not every single player is built physically, first and foremost, to play football at the highest level.
Okay.
We speak about players' physique all the time.
100%.
Luis Diaz almost didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? But now he's one of the most physical players, just showing that, he trained himself into that position.
100%. So discipline is an issue.
Jeremy Frimpong almost didn't make it. In fact, there's a question around him in the 25-26 season of will he be physically capable to play in the Premier League? Because he's so short and so small.
Yeah.
Obviously there have been players that have proven it, Raheem Sterling, whatever, but you can really count them on two hands. You know what I mean? There's very few of those players who break that physique who get over that physique line.
Yeah.
You know, to say like experts don't think you can play soccer. You need to think about how many players who experts have said, I don't think you are physically capable to play the sport.
Yeah.
Stopped. That is probably 95% of them.
But
you know,
in the,
only
in
the
the
5% make it. So in asking the question about is pressure from fans what's causing these players to retire early, I think we're overlooking that aspect. Like for instance, I don't think Eden Hazard physically
could play up until 35.
I mean he didn't his body, for instance, I could swear that Eden Hazard probably has the same diet as a lot of other football players.
I disagree.
But just because of how just because of his body type.
Have you seen Eden Hazard at Madrid?
Yeah, I mean, what about R9? You know, R9
There's
actually.
No way, bruh.
So you reckon it's pressure from fans?
I think you're making excuses for them. I to a certain degree agree with the sentiment that there's a physical requirement that is expected as an athlete in general, never mind football, right?
Yeah.
And football also requires certain attributes physically,
Yeah.
right? And I would argue that discipline overrides that. Lionel Messi, look at his stature. He's not meant to be a footballer. Diego Jota, the late, his stature. This guy had so many, probably had more, headers of a goal than most elite strikers who are taller than him, right? Because
But then
he
that speaks to
applied
IQ.
himself. Yes, because he applied himself. More than anything, he goes the extra mile as a player. That's the discipline aspect. Because he knows that his physical attributes are a disadvantage to his counterparts. So
Okay.
therefore, he has to work extra hard. Cristiano Ronaldo said this all the time. He said he knew that he's not as talented as a Messi or the next person. So therefore, he had to do 10 times what Messi does in training.
I hate the Cristiano Ronaldo example because he's literally the GOAT.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying?
but he's the
it's
measure. He's a
it's
standard
no, he's not
of the greatness
no,
that
not
we're
the
talking
standard,
about.
Not the standard. He's a GOAT.
Right?
That's like comparing every car to a Bugatti Chiron.
No, but the
It's
point...
not fair. Like, you can't compare it. Like, you have to kind
No.
Let's
You
go on an
can.
average.
You can. No, you can't.
Let's go on an average success
No.
metric.
You can, because the point I'm making is precisely that. Cristiano Ronaldo, ability-wise, was a bang average player.
Gox.
Cristiano Ronaldo was average.
Cristiano Ronaldo was average?
Yes. Go watch Cristiano Ronaldo in Portugal. Those clips. You could see, in fact, some of the trickery he was trying, he was learning as he was going. Right? And one might say he was still young and whatever, but Cristiano Ronaldo, as a player, was average. He wasn't necessarily the greatest, the best, right? However, he worked so hard to make sure that he's a cut above the rest. We all agree that Messi is more talented than Cristiano. Is that a fact or not?
That's a fact.
100%. So then how is it that, in terms of who's the greatest of all time, fans are split? Whereas we know that the one is more talented than the other. It means the other had to work harder for them to be even in the conversation of the greatest of all time.
That's probably the
in
hottest.
Messi.
That's probably the hottest take that we've ever had on pitching. Guys, this isn't Cox's opinion. I actually am not of that opinion that Cristiano Ronaldo was not a talented youth. I believe Cristiano Ronaldo only worked that hard to be the GOAT because he saw that he had talent and therefore had something to work towards. It's not like a Jamie Vardy story. You know Jamie Vardy story.
I know the Jamie Vardy
Where
story.
Jamie Vardy was a contractor.
Yeah,
he used to lay bricks
100%.
and move, scaffolding for a living.
Yeah.
And then was playing Sunday footy and then became
professional
a
footballer.
professional footballer at
Yeah.
Leicester. You know what I mean? Like, and winning the Premier
And
League.
then broke records in the Premier League.
You get what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
not saying to me, that's not the Cristiano Ronaldo story. We literally have an image of Cristiano Ronaldo at an academy at a very young age
100%.
as a talented youth. So,
100%.
Guys,
Look.
please jump in the comments. Let us know if you agree with Nkox or not.
Let's not also, don't dilute what I'm saying, because you're saying, I'm saying Cristiano's not talented. I said Cristiano, in the truest, please go look up the word average. Average means not a cut above the rest. He's just as talented as the other footballers. So you can place him as, as talented as a Rashford, for example, in terms of ability, right? However, what Cristiano has over a Rashford is the discipline, the work ethic that made him the great. So he's basically the measuring stick for me of the point I was trying to drive across around discipline and work ethic, is to say, if you can work as hard and just commit towards being an athlete, because I think Cristiano Ronaldo did what most players can't, is, let's be honest, this guy gave himself to football. Right? He literally lives football. Right? And I don't think a lot of players can do that, because there's life that happens. You know, there's the social aspect, there's other things that happen. And to balance all those things is quite difficult. So if you're not as talented as Messi, right, where it's a natural ability, he can't help it. Messi probably doesn't even have to train that much as an average player, right? Because the skill is there. But he does. Not to say he doesn't. I'm just saying that in terms of his natural ability, he doesn't have to do as much as you have to.
He leans on his natural ability.
100%.
Yes.
Whereas when you are a Cristiano Ronaldo, unfortunately, for you to reach those levels, you have to be overly committed.
And let me get you right. You're saying that if you're a player that is in the Premier League, like you're good enough to play in the Premier League,
100%,
and you're good enough to start, right? You can work your way. If you have the Cristiano Ronaldo mentality, you can work your way up to like at least superstardom, if not mega stardom.
100%.
Right. Now,
and Cristiano is the example of that.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm going to ask you, do you think, I'm going to name you players that play in Cristiano Ronaldo's position.
Okay.
Left wings. Attacking left wings.
Left wings, yeah.
Rafinha.
Okay.
Luis Diaz. Kairu Mitoma. From Brighton.
Yeah.
Anthony Gordon. Savinho. And Leandro Trossard. Of those players, tell me, who of those players do you think, through hard work, could jump
to the level
as high, physically, like as in the air to head a ball, as high as Cristiano Ronaldo through hard work? All of them.
Rafinha.
Just Rafinha.
Yeah. Look, I'm basing it on what I see right now. And let me say, with Rafinha, the reason I say Rafinha is because, let's be honest, as talented as Rafinha has been, he's always been talented, even when he was playing in the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
You've seen him rise his levels at Barcelona. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah,
he's risen his levels at Barcelona. He's a different player, even when he plays for his country, for that matter, right? I've seen Rafinha being called up to the national squad when he was playing in the EPL versus what he is now. His levels are above, right?
Okay, cool.
Meaning he's also showing that in terms of his abilities, he can improve.
Right. Now, why are you saying that the others wouldn't be able to do it through
because they haven't shown me enough.
So you think they're below average?
No, they are average.
So
they're not below average.
So they are average like Cristiano Ronaldo?
Was.
Yes.
At
this
Once
age.
upon a time.
At this
I don't know the age because that would have to be technical.
All right,
I'm saying Cristiano Ronaldo, when he arrived at Man United, he was an average player. In fact, I would even go as far as saying Cristiano Ronaldo, Nani, there wasn't much of a difference.
Okay.
When they arrived at United.
And he outworked Nani to
100%. 100%.
So why can't these guys do that?
I don't know. It's a personality thing. It's an attribute thing from a characteristic.
No, but these
the point. The point I'm making is they have the physique too, but the will needs to be there in order for them to be able to work themselves to those heights. And I'm saying, based on their current trajectories, Rafinha is the only one that I can say I can vouch on, based on what I'm seeing right now.
No, we're not talking about the work ethic. I was talking purely. Like you need to listen to my question. Yeah. Based on the fact that they're playing in the Premier League, they're at least average.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Not their attitudes, but I'm saying, if you had to put Cristiano Ronaldo's work ethic, do you think, because they play in the same position, they're successful in those positions?
Yeah.
Mitoma successful. I'd say Savinho is successful.
Gordon Trossard is also fairly...
Anthony Gordon is successful. I mean, these are trophy winners.
Yeah.
That I'm talking about, right? What is preventing them, if they had to switch their minds
Yeah.
to reach Cristiano Ronaldo's level? You're saying they all can?
You've said it. You just said it.
What?
Mentality.
No, I didn't say that.
No, you just said, like,
No,
to
no, no.
switch their minds.
Hang on, I'm not saying that.
So I'm saying that.
Let me say what I'm saying.
I'm saying the difference is mentality.
Right.
100%.
With the Cristiano Ronaldo mentality, Anthony Gordon, Kyrie Matoma, Son Heung-min, which I didn't mention earlier.
And that's actually a good one.
Trossard and Savinho could all be Cristiano Ronaldo.
100%.
So Cristiano Ronaldo is 100% mentality and bang average talent. And no physical... He's not genetically gifted, more gifted than anyone.
Yes.
He has the same genetic makeup of an athlete.
Yes.
That allows him, with the Cristiano Ronaldo mentality,
100%.
to become a mega star.
100%.
And if everyone else applied just the mentality, all have the same physical genetic makeup to reach Cristiano Ronaldo levels.
That's my point.
I call BS. I call cap. Cap. That is cap. I think you capping more than me. I would cap every day. You're capping harder than me, bro. That is the biggest cap ever. Bro, do you know how physically gifted Cristiano Ronaldo is above other people? He's more physically gifted than anyone. To be at that shape, at the age, it's not just about dedication. I mean, Mo Salah is just that dedicated. Mo Salah's got a 15-pack. You know what I'm talking about? But Mo Salah obviously is performing at that level. You can never compare Mo Salah to Cristiano Ronaldo.
But you can't say Mo Salah is physically in the same shape as Cristiano Ronaldo.
He's not that gifted. He's too short.
Exactly. So what are we talking about?
I'm saying Cristiano Ronaldo.
You see, now you need to compare apples with apples. You can't say to me, Rafinha.
You said every player.
Right? No. Get what I'm saying. You just said that. Okay, we might not. We agree that Cristiano Ronaldo is not as talented football-wise.
I disagree.
As Messi. You disagree?
Not as Messi. No,
don't compare to the GOAT, bro. That's where we started. That's the point of departure. The point of departure was Cristiano Ronaldo is not as talented as Messi in terms of his footballing abilities. Right?
Okay.
But in terms of his physical abilities, right? His physique as an athlete.
Yeah.
He is better looking and physically gifted than Messi. You agree?
Wait.
Wait. In terms of...
I need to adjust the argument for me to agree.
If you were to say, this is what a footballer should look like, are you saying Messi or Ronaldo?
Hang on, Gox.
I'm asking... It's a very straight question.
Wait.
And
but
that
then let me elaborate. Let me elaborate.
That makes my point.
Okay, let me answer and elaborate.
Okay.
Right? No. Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi don't have the same physique. Right.
Yeah.
Let me elaborate, please.
Yeah.
If you are going to be comparing, you're saying Ronaldo does not have the talent of the greatest, most talented player we've ever seen in history.
Yeah.
Nah? Then obviously Messi will not have the physique of the most physically gifted player we've ever seen in football history.
So I'm
saying Cristiano Ronaldo is the GOAT in his own realm because he's the most physically gifted player in football history.
How do you become the most physically gifted?
You're born with it, bro. It's genetics.
But how you have to sustain it, and that's what you are discounting.
Yes, but I'm saying you
have to sustain
I'm
it.
showing
You don't stay physically gifted. LeBron James is not LeBron James for so many years because LeBron James was born physically gifted.
Yes.
As a kid, LeBron James, when he was in high school, he was fitter than people who were playing in the NBA. Right? He was physically gifted. But how does LeBron James sustain 19 years in the NBA at the highest level?
Why can't Mo Salah do it?
Again, it's probably a mentality thing.
You say Mo Salah doesn't have a mentality?
I'm saying. Let me rephrase that. I'm saying, you just said Mo Salah is not physically as gifted as Cristiano Ronaldo.
I'm saying Cristiano Ronaldo is the most physically gifted player we've ever seen.
Yes, but I'm saying
to say that people can reach his level is unfair because no one has that physique. They're not gifted in that way. It doesn't matter how hard you work as a left winger. It's 1 in a trillion chance of you becoming Cristiano Ronaldo.
So you're saying basically your argument rests on the fact that Cristiano Ronaldo is Cristiano Ronaldo because of his physical attributes.
and his mentality.
Thank you.
And his talent.
Thank you. So they can all coexist, and we all need all of those
But no
things.
one can do what Cristiano Ronaldo's done. Not even Rafinha. Is my argument.
Okay, fair.
Yes.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
The only point that I will agree with you on is the Marcus Rashford one.
Okay.
Because I do believe that Marcus Rashford has the same amount of talent as Ronaldo.
Okay.
And I do believe he has the physical potential.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So then why didn't you use Rashford as the example and you used Rafinha
No,
to drive my point? So you were basically arguing for the sake of arguing. Because you could have used, you say you agree with the point
Rolling.
if we
Take
were
two.
saying it was Rashford as opposed to Rafinha, Gordon. So you went with bananas and you compared them to apples.
Hang on, let me explain.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about fruit. But anyways. What I'm trying to say is I feel like you were being too generalistic when saying
in driving the point.
Any player who's bang average can just train and with have a mentality and
so
become
basically
Cristiano
you took
Ronaldo.
what I said literally.
No, what I'm trying
And you
to...
didn't contextualize
no.
it.
So it's not about literal or not literal. Yeah.
You did.
Bro, we started this with this argument here together, right? Now, all I'm saying is don't be so polar when you make an argument. Not every single player can be Ronaldo.
Got you.
Say a lot of players can.
Yeah.
But not every player. And even if they are super talented and even if...
You see, now you are... Okay, but I get you. It's fine.
Okay,
it's
cool.
Because we are digressing.
Let's change the subject completely.
Uh-huh.
Right. And just go back a little bit to what we were speaking about earlier about players with other football aspirations, players with a lot of ball knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, we've all attempted to play football at the very least, regardless of the level we got to. And, you tend to compare how you play against what you see on TV.
Yeah.
You always hear them talking about he's not quite the Premier League player.
Yeah.
This player is not world class.
Yeah.
Or this player has football knowledge. All of that type of stuff. So I want to know from you, who are the players who you think are currently in the Premier League who could go on to be managers themselves?
Ooh. There's one that comes to mind without even hesitating. Rodri, Man City. I think Rodri is going to be a monster of a manager. His reading of the game alone gives you that. Rodri, in some respects, I mean, I've watched a clip of him, they were literally following him around the pitch, and the way he was scanning the pitch off the ball, right, said a lot. I mean, also look at him coaching players on the pitch.
Yeah.
Right?
On-field coaching, yeah.
Yeah, so I think we actually saw traces of that too with Xavi Alonso when he was playing.
Yeah.
A similar type of demeanor as a player.
Yes.
He was sort of in charge in that midfield. He was sort of, coaching players that he's playing with. So I think you could sort of see the trajectory from then. And I think I see some of those nuances in Rodri.
Yeah.
So I think Rodri, for me, is that one player that's going to be a good coach. If not coach, would make a good pundit, actually, I think. Provided he can speak well. I've heard his interviews and he does sound quite articulate. So I think that might also help. So I think he might make a good pundit / even coach if he were to pursue his badges.
I do like where you're taking this because, I mean, I do believe that from the sixth position, that's central defensive midfielder role.
Yeah.
That really is the best view of the game.
It is.
And
that and goalkeepers.
And goalkeepers
are the best positions.
Personally, that's my favorite place to play.
Okay.
Is that sixth role.
Yeah.
Also because I'm very lazy. I don't want to do a lot of running and slide tackling.
Yeah.
So I like to play six.
Yeah.
But I would like to throw a name in the hat as well.
Okay.
It's very someone that I don't think you would have thought.
Okay.
But I really believe Virgil van Dijk would make a great manager. Right? So to me, Virgil gives motivation. So a Jurgen Klopp-like coach, where if you really think about Jurgen Klopp, I mean, his tactic was called heavy metal. There must be brilliance in there.
For sure.
I'm not discounting the brilliance.
Yeah.
But what I want to speak about is just the sheer atmosphere, the sheer environment, the sheer desire to win.
Yeah.
You know, the camaraderie.
Yeah.
We're all here for each other. We're all just having a great time.
And leadership too.
Leadership.
Yeah.
You know, being able to have people buy into your idea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People criticize Virgil van Dijk all the time for not making crunching tackles, slide tackles or whatever.
Yeah.
They criticize him for how he defends. But to me, that shows like pure ball knowledge.
Yeah.
Virgil van Dijk sticks that foot out like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, surgically.
And look, to your point,
yeah.
Defenders have made some of the greatest coaches currently. I mean, your Peps were defenders. You know, Mourinho was a defender. He did. Right. So I think I agree with you there. I didn't think of Virgil, but now that you mention it, I think there is an argument to be made there. Just looking at the way he also commands his players. You know, he's also, I think, already coaching as a player.
Yeah. That's definitely the big one. I mean, I think Arne could change his entire team.
Which player...
Without changing Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
And still have Liverpool.
Spanning the works, which player is... And it's inspired by your Mourinho point.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily a good player right now, but you think he's going to make a good manager.
So I actually have one here, but I just want to say rest in peace to Diogo Jota, because he's one of those guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. Like I mentioned, Diogo Jota's accolades. You know, he's like to play, like, again, to play in the Champions League.
Yeah.
In a final or in the quarterfinal, semi-finals, and also to play FIFA, like console games, and win a tournament, an international tournament. Those two things seldom come together.
Yeah.
Only one thing can bring those two things together is ball knowledge.
Yeah.
So Diogo Jota, for everything he lacks in speed, we've seen him when he plays against like PSG. He looks very slow, very small, just because he's not physically gifted. You know what I'm saying? But I really think Diogo Jota would have made an amazing manager. I actually posted on my social media that I was looking forward to 2035.
Yeah.
When Diogo Jota was 38 years old and starting his managerial career.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to that, but unfortunately we won't be able to see that. But also, John McGinn. McGinniesta.
Yeah.
I got that name from Jack Grealish calls him McGinniesta.
Okay.
It's just because of the man's sheer ball knowledge, but it just does not come out of him the way that you see him trying to play it. You know what I'm saying?
I get
so it's just that ability. McGinn, I mean, obviously we know McGinn is an incredible player, but it just does not come across like what he wants to do and what he does.
His abilities
does not
don't match.
They don't connect. But I really do see his character as a player, his character as a person, just how he's able to command just the people around him, you know?
Yeah.
Just the Morgan Rogerses, the Yuri Tillemans, the people all around him, or the Ollie Watkins. He makes them better just in his area.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just because of that, I thought I'd throw that in as like my wild card. McGinn could really make a good manager.
I actually didn't think of that. Okay. I'm look, it's gonna sound silly, but
oh my word of God. Please don't say anything dumb, bro. I beg you. I beg you, dog. We've rage baited everyone enough in this episode. Say someone cool, please.
This guy, what's wrong with you, bro?
Who do you got?
So look, it's a wild card, but I mean, I think this guy really has something to offer the game. Johnny Evans, he just retired actually.
Okay.
Yeah, Johnny Evans. I think looking at his career trajectory, I liked how the way he applies himself also to the game. He's very disciplined, tactically also very disciplined, and he's been consistent actually. Now that I think of it, has played with great players, but he's one of those players you forget in the squad.
Yeah.
right? Very forgettable, but does the job.
Yeah.
And whenever he's called to, he's always been very disciplined, does exactly what he's required to do. And I think that sort of, aura and character, sorry, is the word I was looking for. That sort of character normally fares very well as a coach. So I think they're going to help him obviously get his badges and stuff. And I think there's definitely a coach there in some way.
Yeah, no, definitely I have to agree with Johnny Evans, like, for all the points you made. Thank God. Thank you for not mentioning someone
This
crazy.
guy.
I thought you were going to say, like, Martinez or something like that. Or like
The butcher.
or like I don't even know.
Like an Ahmad.
Like Ahmad or something. But yeah, I mean, Johnny Evans, really, I mean, the longevity of his career, just the consistency. When he's on the field, you know what you're going to get. And, sometimes a calming manager does help players sort of understand that, like a teacher.
Yeah.
He has that type of energy.
100%.
Graham Potter.
100%.
That Rafa Benitez. Okay, Rafa Benitez is a bit of a different one. But just that, Pellegrini, that type of, like, you see him as kind of like a teacher, like a principal at a school. So someone that you can always go to talk to about your problems. Yes. And then he just kind of gives you, like, a solid game plan to work with, like a philosophy. So that's really good.
I get you.
And one... it's not really a wild card. I think everyone can actually see this in this guy that I'm about to mention, Bruno Fernandes. I think Bruno Fernandes, man, the ball knowledge that exudes from that guy. I know you're going to think I'm glazing Bruno, but I'm not really glazing Bruno Fernandes. But I think Bruno Fernandes, like, he's that type of Diego Simeone type of manager. Very, very aggressive, very, very, aggressive on the touchline. Antonio Conte
type, yeah.
Thomas Tuchel type of guy.
Yeah, Thomas Tuchel.
Simeone.
I get you.
Bruno Fernandes.
I can see it.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see
it. Yeah, I mean,
always like, whining, always
complaining, always getting, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's the type of guy that I think a young player like a Cristiano Ronaldo or like a Rasmus Højlund, Garnacho, these type of guys like thrive. Wayne Rooney.
Yeah.
These type of guys thrive under managers like that, because a manager that can cry with you but also celebrate with you. Like, stay up and, like, focus, stay on the pitch. Those are the kind of guys that do things that are obsessive. An obsessive, ball-minded football player.
Why do you think players who are great never make it as great managers?
It's because a player who is great does one thing great in their position. Mm-hmm. Messi's not the best defender. You know what I'm saying? Messi's not the best number 9, really. I don't think Messi could swap to the left, to the right, or to the left. Yeah, I don't think Messi could play a CDM. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Ronaldo could pretty much play an 8 either.
Or a defender.
You know what I'm saying? Or a defender or a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think the players that have been, like, goated, it's mostly stats based a lot of the time. Like Mo Salah, for instance.
Their niche, like, they're really good at what they do.
They're really, really good at that one thing that they do.
Yeah.
And it takes them to the top of football.
Got you.
Yeah, so that's the reason, my reasoning for why I think great players don't make great coaches. But we do have the exceptions, of course. Xabi Alonso. Xabi Alonso was one of the best passers of a football I've ever seen.
Of course.
One of the best readers of the game, one of the best sixers.
But again,
Xabi Alonso wins trophies.
To our earlier point, his position kind of helps also.
Yeah, that's his position. I mean, Xabi Alonso won FA Cups and Champions League, and a Champions League trophy with Liverpool. Went to Madrid, won everything.
Yeah.
Went to Bayern, won everything. So, like, he is also an incredibly goated player.
Yeah,
he's one of the goated
sure.
sixes.
One of the most decorated players.
Yes. And he's an incredible manager. So I think maybe Xabi Alonso is the only exception to the rule. But I do agree with that. Great players tend not to make great managers.
Yeah.
I mean, Wayne Rooney's not doing too well.
Yeah.
Steven Gerrard
is not doing well. Frank Lampard didn't do too well.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So other people say, yeah, but it's great to be coaching in the third or the second tier. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about, like, winning.
Yeah.
Like Xabi Alonso. We're talking about...
Also, some of them, I do think that they skip steps.
Yeah. I do believe that as well. That's actually a very good point.
That's a really one of the major issues with most of them is that they don't want to do the groundwork first and work themselves up. They always want to skip a step. And I guess to their defense too, there are coaches who have also skipped steps.
Yeah.
And
Xabi
went straight into greatness. Pep Guardiola also is another one, right?
Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah. So I think they also, why would you discount yourself when there's, there's such a track record? So anyway,
everyone backs themselves.
Yeah. Let's move right along to the exciting stuff. All right. We've compiled a list of players who have somewhat built, sustainable wealth, over and above their playing careers. And I think this is just to sort of motivate the current playing, crop. And also just to say, and a disclaimer, we're not saying everyone needs to get into business. Not all of us are entrepreneurial minded.
Yeah.
Right? But I think the crux here is if you make the right decisions while playing, you can sustain yourself well and beyond your playing career. Because most of these guys are actually wealthy or rich as a result of, the decisions they made whilst they were playing. And also starting to plan for your career beyond, the pitch.
One of the toughest things to do, man, as a football player, because they want you to be you need to actually be so obsessed with only football. I mean, you look at a guy like Trent Alexander-Arnold. I mean, this guy has made a habit of not having any other quirks outside of football. Trent, do you have a favorite color? No. I don't have a favorite color. Do you have a ritual that you do? Are you superstitious? No. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you listen to? Flippin', I listen to anything that the guys are listening to, whatever that's going to get. So these guys have to be so obsessed with football in order for them to make it at that highest level.
I get you.
So you end up having to not have a plan B.
That is true.
Like if you listen to the guys that from on these podcasts or whatever that speak about how they were so great and then they fell off and then weren't able to make anything of themselves afterwards, they always go back to saying, we were just obsessed with football.
But I guess then, what you need to then do in that instance, you do what a Cristiano does and just have a solid team around you. So you have like a business manager.
He's blessed.
That sort of also just focuses on the commercial aspect of your playing career more than anything and life after that. Because obviously that's the other thing. We're not expecting you as an athlete to also be an entrepreneur, like I'm saying, and all these things that have that acumen. Not everyone does. So, but just making the right decisions around identifying talent that can help you in that regard. To say, let me have like a team of people that just focus on building my businesses and everything that I do post my playing career.
Well, that is very true, and I think that's the reason why those people are hard to come by the way.
100%.
It's not easy just to find like an agent, friend, brother
that you can trust too,
and who's good.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the Paul Pogba story a couple of years ago. By the way, shout out to Paul Pogba, back in the game. Pogba, Monaco. AS Monaco.
Yeah, he's home. I think that's definitely a beautiful story.
It is, man.
He would have had to find something else to do. He would have been doing TikTok challenges coming out of his ears. You know what I mean? But anyways, I just want to mention, honorable mention to players who really have made strides when it comes to that sustainability thing or that being able to pivot situation, pivoting out of football into a sustainable career beyond football. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Jeremy Frimpong have both started organizations that are literally focused on how is it that academy players can, because they get dropped in. Dude, I promise you, there's 1,000 kids that rock up at Stamford Bridge, rock up at Old Trafford, they rock up there at Anfield.
Carrington, and
every single, academy. Thousands and thousands of kids every single year. But how many do you ever hear? Like how many Manchester United players broke into the first team? In the past season. That's a whole 12 months. You know what I mean? So very few. So Trent Alexander-Arnold started the After Academy.
Okay.
And Jeremy Frimpong, which I actually found out last week, started Pathways.
Okay.
He's from Manchester. So this is Pathways is an organization in Manchester. That helps players, academy players who get dropped, which is most of them, find other career paths and opportunities in life around the community.
Speaking of something similar, remember Louis Saha? Man United,
Yes,
Fulham, Everton.
yes.
He has an app called Access Stars, right? That focuses on, retirement and players. And he started the app whilst he was playing. Well, he invested in the app, so to say. And the app has actually taken off. I mean, right now it's valued at $5 billion US.
Wow.
Yeah, so I never thought of Louis Saha as someone who would have that sort of acumen.
There is that side of it where, like, you just have to be lucky, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? 'Cause,
yeah.
He doesn't know anything about that stuff.
For sure. He took a
footballers-
chance.
So footballers, as smart as they may be, their knowledge base or their information base, or is very limited to just football. But they can get lucky, at
100%.
times. If you make the right investment, if you make the right decision.
Sometimes being born into the right family could also be a
that also
thing.
does help.
Like Andre Iniesta. Did you know Andre Iniesta right now is he's in charge of one of the biggest vineyards and wine companies in Spain. Bodega. It's called Bodega Iniesta, right?
Oof.
It was inherited, actually. Was a family winery, and he inherited it from his dad.
That's
and right
insane.
now, that's his core business.
Yeah. No, that's pretty much.
So sometimes
insane,
being born into the right family, man, helps.
yeah, that definitely does help. Yeah. Being born into the right family definitely helps. Speaking about the billionaires, the ones that have actually reached billionaire status.
Yeah.
This next player's wealth is actually not public yet.
Yeah.
But it's definitely in the billions. And I'm talking about someone whose name that you haven't heard in probably 5 years. Matteo Flamini.
Bro, last time I heard about Flamini was at Arsenal.
Yeah. So Flamini obviously had a really good career.
Yeah.
But I really think that this distraction, which I would have very gladly taken, would have been part of the reason why he didn't have that mentality just to go play, say, Champions League, like, until he's old.
Yeah.
Is because he partnered with a company called GF Biochemicals, which is a leading global producer of levulinic acid.
I wonder
don't know
that
what the
is.
hell that is.
Yeah.
But they patented it, right? And they were able to sort of produce it, sell it, or whatever they did in business, because I'm also not that business-minded. And the company is now worth multiples of billions of pounds, right? So Flamini is by far, it's not even comparable. He's the richest footballer outside of football, period.
Jeez.
You would need to be maybe like a Saudi prince or something
Sheesh.
to have more money than Matteo Flamini.
Damn.
Right now, yeah.
Shout out to Flamini, man. Also, PK.
Gerard
Former Barcelona great. PK has a production company called Cosmos. Right? And they basically also, produce sports in Spain. And they landed a lucrative contract where they are also producing for La Liga now.
Wow.
So apparently he co-founded this whilst he was playing for Barcelona. So he had the foresight as a player to say, hey man, there's money in production, why not? And I would imagine, man, when you think about those sports rights and football rights, there's a lot of money
really,
being flashed there.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if you've seen the TV series Ballers.
Yeah, with The Rock.
So the sports management does kind of go into entertainment, because sport is entertainment at the end of the day. And, managing a player and their lifestyle is the same as managing, say, an actor. And just all those things, they really do come together. And speaking of that type of lifestyle, getting into sort of that fashion and being in Hollywood.
Yeah.
We spoke about Eric Cantona being a movie star.
Yes.
But Jibril Cisse, one of the Ibiza level DJ.
Yeah?
Plays Ibiza, not only now anymore because of the football, but just because of his own personal brand.
Really?
And he's a super model.
Interesting.
He is older, of course, but I mean, in fashion, it doesn't matter how old.
No, for sure.
Jibril Cisse.
Drip is forever.
Drip is forever. You know what I'm saying? This week, in fact, Jibril Cisse announced their partnership with Oakley and Daily Paper.
Jeez.
Yeah, so that, it's like a big thing. I mean, he's on that level now.
Jeez,
Like
okay,
Dribble
shout
Cisse
out.
could be the leading man in a fashion.
That's actually
show.
an interesting
Yeah.
one that I don't understand why soccer players don't think of it, because most of them have the physique to be models.
I think they're shy.
I guess.
I mean, I think a lot of them really do. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you've seen the Jude Bellingham, David Beckham.
Yeah.
You know, these guys. I mean, David Beckham is another one, of course.
Yeah, speaking of David
modeling.
Beckham, we all know that he's had the foresight a long time ago. But
Yeah.
I think he was one of the people that also had a very strong team around him. I
Yes.
mean, his wife is also like a powerhouse,
Yeah.
in business. So I think it kind of made sense for him after football to also reach the feats that he's done.
Yes.
Right now, he's the owner of Inter Miami.
Yeah.
In the MLS, valued at around 450 million US dollars. I mean, people were just making trajectories now around, for example, the FIFA World Cup, how much a club like Inter Miami is going to make coming out of the last 16. I think they came out of the last 16. So he's one of the players who also had the foresight, because if you remember, he made a groundbreaking deal when it was unheard of, when he went to, because remember, he was one of the first players to sort of promote the American League.
Yes.
So when he made the move, a lot of people were like, what is he doing? It was unheard of. It was like, at the time, if you remember, it was popular to go retire in Turkey or in China or something.
Turkey, China was also...
Yeah. That was like the popular move, because that's where the money was.
Italy as well.
So he took a very unpopular route, and he basically carved his own lane, and he made a groundbreaking deal where he, instead of getting a big payout, he negotiated equity in the team.
Wow.
That's how he became the owner of Inter Miami.
Inter Miami. That is very
that is foresight, and those are the levels I think players need to be thinking at.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when they have leverage.
I agree with you, especially in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So David Beckham obviously has leverage with everyone.
I mean, if you look at Cristiano Ronaldo's latest deal, did you see his contract?
Yeah.
The perks of his contract. I mean, he's negotiating, equity in the commercial rights and stuff like that. Like crazy stuff.
No, but I mean, Ronaldo, we don't even want to talk about
Yeah, no, that's
absolutely. But I actually would like to see who's richer, David Beckham or Cristiano Ronaldo. Interesting. We're going to pause that one for now.
Yeah, actually.
But I just want to mention that although David Beckham's wealth has actually sort of come from within football, if you think about it, which is not, which actually would low-key disqualify him for this. But I think it's not just that. I think it's him as a person. I think his the things that he does outside of football, like the modeling, his lifestyle with Victoria Beckham.
By the way, didn't he recently get knighted? He's a
Sir David Beckham.
Yeah, shout out.
And a lot of his humanitarian work, which is something that we don't speak about enough. I do know that a lot of soccer players do humanitarian work in the communities and all of that. But I feel like David Beckham really has taken it. And he's fighting for, global warming. He's fighting for equality.
He's always an advocate. And he speaks out. I like the fact that he speaks out.
He's fighting against cancer. He's fighting against all types of things. That's not anything to do with his football.
Yeah.
That's everything to do with his celebrity.
100%.
Speaking about people who've benefited from their celebrity. Yeah. And in my opinion, I think this might be one of the biggest successes.
Okay.
Right? In football, post-football, that has nothing to do with football.
Okay.
George Weah.
My man. Actually, I didn't think of him.
I think George Weah is probably the most successful footballer outside of football.
100%.
Because none of these other guys are presidents.
Exactly.
To be the president
of a country.
Of your entire country.
That is crazy.
Not to be enjoyed by your community.
You are correct that I think that is the highest feat ever achieved by a footballer.
Yeah.
In the history of football, actually, if you think about it.
Exactly, bro. I mean, this guy...
That's crazy.
From 2018 to 2024, it's just insane.
That is crazy, actually.
That's the effect. That's the celebrity George Weah effect. So that, to me, speaks to, yes, you were notable as a footballer. We get that. George Weah, we all know he played for... he enjoyed his best times at Monaco, PSG, and AC Milan.
Yeah.
And then also played for Man City, Marseille... And he also ended his career in Saudi League, actually, up until 2003. But I think it's the George Weah effect. It's more than football.
100%.
Yeah, to the point where he
100%.
became a president. That's insane.
Also, speaking of George Weah and presidency, there are also players who've went into football administration.
Yes.
Players like your Louis Figo,
Yes.
who serves within FIFA. And I'm seeing a lot of players who are now also going in that
Looking in that
trajectory.
direction, yeah.
R9, Ronaldo, is also within the FIFA Federation. And those are players that in the next coming years are going to see as FIFA presidents, for
Yes.
example. I mean, Louis Figo was in the running, by the way,
Yeah.
for FIFA presidency. I mean, so the net is wide open for opportunities as a footballer. And I think you've mentioned something very important around taking advantage of your popularity, your status, you
Yeah.
know. And I think this is what these guys have done. They just pivoted
Yeah.
using, you know, this powerful, you know, sport, which is football, which is globally the number one sport in terms of numbers.
Yeah.
So that already shows you the power that this sport has. Other honorable mentions: Rio Ferdinand.
Rio.
He
Yeah,
has
he
a
had the
company called
magazine
Five.
Five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Brilliant.
Five also does very, very well. Right now, they've sort of pivoted and sort of have a convergence approach with podcasting and media, and he's doing quite well. So there's a lot of these guys. We could
The only credible ex Fergie Man United pundit, Rio Ferdinand. That's my guy. But I actually just want to make a special mention to someone that we've already spoken about on the podcast.
Yeah.
Someone who I think I want to do well because they have so much potential.
Okay.
I would really love to see Jack Grealish do something with his life outside of football. You know what I'm saying?
You
'Cause I
really
feel
have a soft spot for Jack
I really
Grealish,
do like
yeah.
Jack Grealish, man. Have you heard Jack Grealish interviews?
I have. He's
the
quite the
funniest guy.
character.
He's
He's
hilarious.
quite the character.
He's
likable.
I really like to see Jack Grealish do something like, start his own, like maybe like a vodka brand or his own clothing brand. You know what I'm saying?
Something on brand. You thought of a
Yes,
vodka brand.
I've already thought what he could do. You know what I'm saying? Jack Grealish could host a festival. You know what I'm saying? Just get the right partners. Maybe link up with a guy from Firefest. Firefest and Jack Grealish. Jack Firefest. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Anyway, I think
Invest in Tyson ideas, please.
that's how we wrap up the show this week, man. Pitch in. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe our content. If you haven't followed us already, please go follow us. We need those follows, man. If you're on TikTok, follow us on TikTok. If you're on X, go follow us there. Facebook, Instagram, we do post updates there. And of course, we are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. And for me, away.